Matapos talunin ng 1 point sa Cleveland noong Christmas Day, rumesbak naman ang Golden State Warriors sa defending champions by beating them by 35 points sa Oracle Arena. Sa recent na laban na yan, pinakita ng Warriors kung gaano ka-explosive ang kanilang opensa at depensa pag nag-click ng sabay-sabay ang kanilang Big Four. Pero kahit natambakan, marami nagsasabi na Cavs pa rin ang makakaharap ng Warriors finals for a third straight season. Now, let's talk about that with basketball analyst and blogger Enzo Flojo. Enzo, welcome back to The Score.
Hey, Teen.
Another interesting game na inabangan. Yes. Well, actually, this is the big thing in the States. That was Martin Luther King Day.
Yes, so, MLK.
MLK Day, they have big games. Parang Christmas, but of course, yours is bigger.
Yeah.
So that's why tinataon yan. So less than, 3 weeks up, from the previous game. Coming into this game, how did you see this matchup happening? And you have to put things in perspective. Of course, nanalo yung Cleveland in their home court. Great comeback win. But this time, they're on the road, and they're on the end of apparently a six-game road trip in 12 days.
Yeah.
So you have to factor all that in. But when coming into the game, what were your thoughts in terms of whether the Cavs had a shot at winning one in the Oracle?
Well, obviously, you want to see a really good game between these two teams. A lot of people think this is a rivalry already.
Yep. LeBron says no.
Yeah, he said after that it's not a rivalry. But, I mean, these are the two teams that people are pegging to meet again for the third straight time in the finals. So every time these teams meet, a lot of people are tuned in. They're hoping for a good game. But again, like what you said, Teen, so many factors were affecting Cleveland in particular.
Yeah.
Heading into this game, Kevin Love was on 100%, even if he's playing really well this season. J.R. Smith was injured heading into this game.
He's still out.
And obviously, this is the last game of that 6-game road trip stretch.
Against Western Conference teams.
They lost to Utah and Portland. They barely won against Sacramento. So this was a battered Cleveland team, reasonably speaking, heading into this game, going up against a Golden State team that was playing with a chip on their shoulder because they lost the first game. They wanted to prove something, and of course, obviously, they were at home, and they play a lot better at home. So, there was a recipe for Golden State to actually have a breakout game and have a statement game against Cleveland here.
In their loss on Christmas Day, when people broke that down, a lot of criticism went the way of Steph Curry. In terms of why did he play so poorly? Why was he not as aggressive? What happened to him? Is he really becoming, the number 2 guy to Kevin Durant? Your thoughts on how he obviously played way better in the second time around?
Well, I think it's just the level of aggressiveness we saw from Steph Curry. Right off the bat, first play on the offensive end for Golden State, he attacks Kyrie Irving, gets a driving layup. That was a harbinger of sorts for Golden State in this game. Parang Steph Curry was saying, okay, I wasn't aggressive enough. This is me being aggressive. I'm going to score 20-plus points, 11 assists for this game. So that was a big difference for me in terms of Steph Curry. He just was on a different level here. He wanted this to be a statement game, not just for his team, but for him as well.
All right. Well, come second quarter, there was an incident that happened that some thought could have been a rallying point for the Cavs, to be an inspirational, emotional thing. Kasi nung pinabagsak ni Draymond Green, si LeBron James, talk about that. In particular, we'll show you the clip in a bit if you missed that. He seemed, this is what the people have said, he seemed to go for a steal, obviously missed the steal, bumped into LeBron.
Missed it by a mile,
obviously the Warriors fans will say he just accidentally bumped in him going for a steal and LeBron flopped, which LeBron is known for. That's why sometimes he's known as the flop. But on the other side, the Cavs fans are saying, well, he was already there and Draymond just made it worth it by giving him a shoulder, a shoulder check as well. So the refs had their call. They did a flagrant one. Your thoughts in that incident and how that adds spice and character to this? Let's call it a rivalry. Let LeBron deny it's a rivalry. Sorry, biglang humirit si Siri. It's so weird. Let's call it a rivalry, even though they say it's not. But how did that add to the spice there?
Well, you look back at the last 2 final series between these two teams, and there's always something happening between them, and almost always it involves Draymond Green and
LeBron James.
Not surprisingly, it happened again here, diba? I mean, everyone knows how Draymond was, suspended for Game 5 in the finals of
and for what he did. Remember, it was a weird shot to the groin of LeBron.
So this is a guy who's had a history of being physical to the point of being over the edge already. I mean, you have that sort of history heading into a game, and you make a play like that, which almost seemed like a football tackle against LeBron James, who was going on a fast break play. Talagang the benefit of the doubt will go towards LeBron James. And, I mean, social media was parang right down the middle, hate. Flop, or flagrant foul.
Yeah.
For me, I think it was definitely a foul, a very hard foul. So I think that, being called for that was warranted, at least from my perspective. Did I think that LeBron helped sell the call? Yes, in a way. Did Draymond Green deserve to be called for a flagrant in particular? Looking back, yes. I don't think he made a clear play on the ball as much as he made a play on LeBron James' jaw or shoulder for that particular sequence. So talagang physicality ni Draymond Green nangibabaw sa sequence ito. And that's one of the reasons why it was called the way it was.
Does that send a message though? Whether Green will admit it or not, whether or not he'll say it was a flagrant foul or I really went to hit him hard, does that send a message that Green wants to send to his team? Now, we got to stand up against his team and not allow them to bully us. And you got to, as you said, when this team was put together with Kevin Durant coming in, he's the X factor to be the heart and soul still.
Oh, definitely. I mean, you look at Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, KD, these guys can score 80 points on their own. But Draymond Green, you need him as your glue guy for that team. You have these 3 top-tier guys and a bunch of 4th, 5th-tier guys who will just play their roles. And Draymond Green's right in the middle, and he's the guy who's going to be parang the rest back of the whole team. And that's what he does every single game, especially against the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Right. 11 points, 13 rebounds, 11 assists,
Yeah.
triple-double, and 5 blocks.
Yes, he and
Hello.
even Zaza Pachulia, sila dalawa talaga yung parang rocks nila inside the paint in that game.
Yeah. So, okay, let's put things in perspective now. For the Cavs, it's a bit of a rough stretch. Kevin Love not 100%, J.R. Smith injured.
Yes.
But just looking at the runs they've had playing well, are they still primed to looking good enough to come back to the finals and meet them again in the finals?
I think so. Unlike Golden State, which is the Warriors look like they're pedal to the metal every game. They want to prove that they're the best in the regular season. The Cavs know what it takes to win the games that count the most.
Yeah, and they know when to rest their stars. They've done it already. They've rested LeBron, they've rested Kyrie certain games.
Parang Cleveland's doing a San Antonio eh. Parang they know when to take the pedal off a little bit and they know kung kailangan bumulu. So remember na last season, there was also one game where Cleveland was blown out big time by Golden State. And people were saying, oh, this is over. But Golden State's going to win this whole thing again, easy. But that didn't happen. And I guess if you look at this game, parang Cleveland wasn't playing their actual normal game. They were looking for Kyle Korver for most of the game, which is not Cleveland's game. Kyle Korver was going through screens and all these things. He took a lot of three-point shots. And if you have J.R. Smith in that game, if you have a healthy Kevin Love, that's not going to happen if you're Cleveland. So this is not the way that Cleveland is expected to play in every game.
So would you say may pagka practice game of sorts na pinag-tinker na lang
Siguro
ni Ty Lue? Tambak na ako eh. Let's run some plays and see what we can do.
Parang may konting gamesmanship, I think. Parang Ty Lue's thinking, okay, you scored 78 in the first half. I think that's enough. I think, I'm going to pull Kevin Love, which he did. I'm going to maybe try to run more plays for Kyle Korver or Iman Shumpert, who was driving to the basket a lot, more than he usually does. So I think if you're Ty Lue, you accept the reality that, okay, we lost this battle, but we're going to win the war eventually.
Now, for the Warriors, what this is, as a team, beyond what Draymond Green did, what message does this send to the rest of the league that, hey, we are still the top dog here. We're not the defending champions, but, with bringing in, Kevin Durant and Zaza Pachulia, who might be an all-star starter, by the way.
Yes, actually.
If the rules were changed.
Number 2 front line.
I know, right? But what's the message of the Warriors here?
Well, if you're Golden State, there are a lot of doubters around you. Every loss you have is magnified. And this is
konti pa lang,
konti pa lang 6 losses pa lang. So this is a message not just to the league, but to the entire NBA fan base even. We're not the defending champions, but we're still the team to beat here in the season. We just spanked the defending champions. So there you go.
And there it is. And whenever they see each other, it's like a playoff atmosphere for sure. So we can't wait for the next one for them to battle out again. Enz, maraming salamat. See you again.
Hi guys, keep watching The Score for the latest sports updates and don't forget to subscribe to the ABS-CBN Sports in Action YouTube channel.